the Jetsetting family, and this is week 7. This week we're excited to show you guys our 3rd week of Ubud Bali, or our 3rd week in Bali. We stayed 1 week in Kuta and 2 weeks in Ubud.
So this week we wanted to show you more of our day-to-day life in Ubud, our villas, which were Matahari villas. Thank you for hosting us. They're about 5 minutes driving from actual Ubud kind of city center. Really up to 20 minutes with the traffic, but it was nice because it's calm. There are rice paddies right outside of our apartment there, and everything was open air, really close to a pool. Just a lot of nature sounds, a lot of quiet spaces, some chickens and cows.
It was outside. We kind of got to know some of the locals and get to know their customs. It was in a smaller village, so they didn't speak English as well throughout the community, but they would still laugh and kind of show us their ways of life, and so that part was really cool to see. It's just the everyday living of the Balinese people there.
Yeah, so check out our little clip of what our time in Matahari Villa was like.
Hear a knock on the door and the night begins. 'Cause we done this before, so you come on in. Make yourself from my home, tell me where you've been. Pour yourself something cold, baby, cheers to this. Oh, you gotta stay in, and you know where I live. Yeah, you know what we is. Oh, you gotta stay in. Welcome to my house, baby, take control now. Oh, you can't even slow it down. We don't have to go out. Welcome to my house, play that music too loud. Show me what you do now. We don't have to go out. Welcome to my house. Oh, welcome to my house. Welcome to my house. Oh, welcome to my house.
Dear Lord, please make me safe and my room safe and my whole family safe. Amen.
So one of the other things that we did day to day was go into the pool, and mostly Santi here is our little fish that loves to swim, and he's getting so much better, right?
Yeah, he dove for rocks and he practiced a lot.
Yep.
And sometimes...
And I got 5 rocks or 6 rocks in one dive.
Wow.
That is awesome. So check out this clip of time in the pool.
Always. I got jump.
Okay.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Do your flip.
No.
We mentioned in the past that service was really important to our family, so we were really honored, yeah, to be welcomed into a local orphanage to help out in Bali. It was called
Taman Permata Hati Bali Orphan Center.
One thing to note is through volunteering throughout the world, we've learned orphanages can mean different things in different places. With this orphan center, the kids don't live there. They actually do have homes they go back to. In order to qualify, they had to have one or both parents pass away. So if one parent passed away, they still lived with the surviving mother or father, or they lived with a foster family if both parents had passed, and the center is more of a place for them as if they only have one parent who's working long hours, and a lot of them in the fields. It's a place for them to have more structure and guidance, and then they also get sponsor families from different countries around the world to help accommodate the cost of school supplies and uniforms and extracurricular activities. So we went and taught English predominantly, and then sometimes after the English classes, Santi was allowed to join in. They had volunteers come in to do all these extracurricular activities that they do on a weekly basis. So these kids were really good at their extracurricular activities.
Yeah.
So Santi did a really good job trying to keep up and learning from the kids. He was brand new to it, and they had practiced a lot. But it was really nice that they included him in that. And so after we would teach, he would get to do, you know, their soccer or art or music.
Yeah.
And so it was really fun. And we just had a really good time working there and spending time with the kids.
And here's a couple of clips to share from our time at the Orphan Center.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
When he shake the envelope, you have to shake the envelope too.
Okay.
Get him, okay?
And when he stops, you stop, okay?
When he stops, you stop.
Okay. Santi, what was your favorite part of going to the Orphan Center with the kids?
I got to play with them.
You got to play with them? What did you play?
Soccer.
You did
And what
soccer?
And I got to do volleyball flip.
Dance?
I did do a lot of
Dance
volleyball
and
flip.
sing. And play music.
What did you,
Uh-huh.
what were you, how did you play the music?
Was
Like
it?
this?
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. one of the things that we absolutely loved about Bali as a whole, and you see it a lot in Ubud, but was how friendly the Balinese people are, especially towards children. There wasn't a single restaurant I think we went to that the waitresses didn't immediately start playing with the kids. If Nora fussed, they would hold her and pick her up. I mean, they love children and will go out of their way to make them happy. Did you play with a lot of people? Yeah. Yeah,
the taxi drivers would give them candy. People would come and pick them up, give them high fives, big smiles all around. So Balinese people
love kids.
Amazing.
And they're just really warm and friendly towards kids. One of the things we weren't expecting that made it a little bit difficult with kids in Ubud was the sidewalks are what Santi kind of referred to as a
ninja warrior.
A ninja warrior course. What did you find? Be very careful. It's a pretty big hole. Ninja warrior! There are like these big holes every few feet. That your kid could legit fall in.
Yeah, the city seems like it's constantly under renovation, so...
But there's no one ever working on it.
There were people working there.
Okay.
Yeah, they were working on it just slowly, and there's way too many holes right now. So if you're thinking about taking a stroller there, you could take it, but just... you won't be able to use it, because based on the traffic and the amount of potholes that there are, it's very difficult to kind of navigate.
And I think the first day it threw us off, and we were kind of like, what? And then by like the third day it was so second nature and just like part of the journey. We were there for 2 weeks and it just, became for Santi. He loved it. He said he liked walking there better than home because it was an adventure. But then there's also times where with the potholes you have to go through the street a little, passing in between cars at times. So it's just something to note. The sidewalks there aren't really great for strollers or you just have to be cautious with your kids. If you have a little one Nora's age, I definitely baby wear. We don't, but if we did more, that's what I'd recommend.
One of the other interesting things is we're all used to getting Ubers and Grab cars there. And that is kind of looked down upon in Bali. There's a big group of taxi drivers that kind of think that the Uber and Grab apps are kind of taken over. So you'll see a lot of signs where Grabs aren't allowed. You might see some controversy or drivers getting angry if you talk about it and ask about getting Grabs. Thankfully, the taxi drivers, the prices are still okay. You could probably pay about $3 to $4. Yeah, $3 to $4 for a ride into town within Ubud, and then if you want to go somewhere farther, you can just hire kind of a private driver that you can pay up to either half day 4 hours or a full day 8 hours.
So we found metered taxis are really hard to find in Ubud, but throughout Bali, if you find a metered taxi, they'll be way cheaper than non-metered taxis. And then about a half day driver was about $25. A full day was $50. Or you can rent a scooter, which we tried to do, and I discovered I was not a good motorbike driver. But those are cheap. They're only $5 a day. So that's a great way to get around if you're comfortable. I just wasn't confident enough to go with the kids. We did rent one, and Rod and I rode it, and it was awesome. But I just didn't want to drive.
Yeah.
We hope you enjoyed week 7. Subscribe and comment for next. Want to see more?
Yeah, Santi loves reading the comments. We can even feature them in our Instagram stories too.
Yes.
So please leave us some feedback. Until then, we are headed to Singapore, and we will see you there next week.
So happy jet setting. What'd you find? Are you Rocky Balboa?
Chocolate pepper.